Guan Black Dog premiered earlier this year at the Cannes Film Festival in the Uncertain Regard section, deservedly winning its top prize. It was, however, wrongly snubbed of the world-renowned Palme d'Or Award, as Guan's film is, rather lazily put, a dog movie, not of the Air Bud anthropomorphic type, but of that classic story of an unexpected friendship between man and dog. The film begins in the Gobi Desert. A bus is riding along an empty dirt road until they are charged by a drove of wild dogs, then flipping the bus and leaving its passengers in utter pandemonium. Amidst all the chaos is where we meet our protagonist, Long, an ex-con returning home following a stint of incarceration. He was a man once known and seemingly well-liked by many in his hometown, but now he's turned inward and grouchy, hardly ever speaking to anyone. Upon return, Long finds his town, the place that used to be his home, is now just a settlement of drab, empty concrete structures. And when the citizens deserted this depressing, dusty town, they abandoned their pet dogs as well, who now rule the streets and the empty plains around them. There's one dog in particular that is a major source of fear amongst the denizens. That is the titular Black Dog, who is believed to be rabid and has a sizable reward put out for his disposal. You might hear that plot summary and roll your eyes at how goofy Black Dog may sound, but it's the way Guan imbues this story that very easily could have been laughable, with such heart and imagination. It's a lovely union of western, film noir, and deadpan comedy, a tale of a lone, quiet drifter traversing stark desert landscapes with an animal companion in tow. It's an oft-told story of male friendship that is hard not to be taken with, one where our companions first come face to face while Long is relieving himself out in the open plains. In turn, you get a rather unpretentious film about the gradual bonding of a lonely man and a black dog, who begin the film as enemies but then become inseparable pals, who then together journey through a classic revenge story in which a local gangster aims to kill Long for his role in his nephew's death, as well as a possible kindling romance between Long and a member of a traveling circus. But it's also a playful, minimalist satire of modern China, commenting on the distressing circumstances workers in small towns underwent in the years leading up to the 2008 Beijing Olympics. These situations provide Black Dog its backdrop, which is set on the eve of the Olympics and takes place in one of those small towns that have fallen on hard times. I'm not particularly well versed in China's socioeconomics, nor am I super familiar with the past or current landscape of Chinese cinema, which is a blind spot that desperately needs to be rectified on my part. But because of that, I wasn't familiar with Guan or his body of work at all. However, one of the few Chinese filmmakers I am aware of and greatly admire is Zhao Zhangke, who coincidentally acts in the film as a leader of a dog wrangling group, a small role that I still found incredibly amusing, and who I also feel is a significant influence on the formal style of Black Dog, specifically in that largely everything is shot at an extreme distance, evoking the style of Zhao's films like Platform or The World, where many scenes play out from masters, with an extreme emphasis placed on the relation between the performers and the physical spaces they occupy. We observe Long wander his town at a physical and emotional distance, almost swallowed up by the desert and mountainous landscapes around him, as well as the desolate spaces of the town. It's a creative choice that makes for beautiful, almost painterly compositions, but also makes so much sense for Long as a character, as he is a withdrawn, emotionally distant figure whose sole connection in life is with a dog. By refusing us his POV and dwarfing him under the immensity of the environment, we get a far more indecipherable character who is so compelling to observe, played brilliantly by Eddie Peng, who delivers a dispassionate yet physically expressive performance. But don't worry, there are plenty of close-ups to go around for his canine companion, a whippet who quite simply steals the show. Because while there's a lot of space for the profound and somber, Guan also leaves plenty of room for the warm and whimsical, and it might just be the space where Black Dog operates best. There's little motorcycle excursions with a dog in a sidecar, a record amount of random public urination scenes, traveling circuses, and slapstick-like kidnappings, and also can't forget to mention some banging Pink Floyd needle drops. There's also this real affection for our canine companions that don't ever read as manipulative, with some truly magical moments mounted entirely by animals, where frames are filled to the brim with countless dogs, freely roaming away from the cruelty of humanity. Guan's film has a warmth and a deadpan levity that is coursing throughout nearly every moment, to tell a story austere on the surface but so earnest and playful as you dig deeper. These clashing sensibilities make it a real wonder Guan was able to merge them so seamlessly. And Black Dog may not be particularly novel in its metaphors, nor does it offer much in the way of profound social critique. It's quite refreshingly a completely unpretentious watch, a light portrait of a dog and human coming together while the forces of economic progress, and a special task force of dog wranglers, seek to tear them apart. The static tableaux are majestic, the slapstick digressions so amusing, the dogs endlessly lovable. I think the dog movie has almost become a derogatory term over the years, because quite simply so many movies centered around dogs, or really animals in general, traditionally aren't very good. Most ride solely on the fact you'll goo and gaw over the adorable canines on screen, that you'll just ignore the fact it's not saying or doing anything interesting at all. But this one is a very rare exception, one that can stand alongside a film like Kelly Reichardt's Wendy and Lucy, the best and only good dog movie out there in my humble opinion, a film which reaffirms that dog truly is man's best friend, and does so with so much style, subtlety, and humor. I hope this gets a release in the states it deserves, because I have no doubt this one will go over incredibly well with film and dog lovers alike.